Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For our radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all can be with us. Also, tuning in online via our podcast at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music, we're glad you all could be with us as well. This is part of a music and news segment here at WYAD, and today we're talking about how you can be able to protect yourself against scam movers. It's something that, of course, we know that moving itself can be a hassle and stressful enough, but there are thousands who are taken advantage of each year when it comes to moving companies and brokers. And to help crack down on that, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, or FMCSA, they're helping to ramp up their efforts to be able to go against those scam movers and brokers, and also those who may not be following federal safety guidelines as well. Here to talk to us more about that, we're excited to welcome Tom Liberatore to our broadcast today. Tom is the Director of the Office of Enforcement and Compliance with the US Department of Transportation's FMCSA. We're going to talk to him not only about what you all need to know, but also where you can go for more information as well. Tom, great information for our audience. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Cyrus. I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, moving is something, as I mentioned, that can be stressful enough, but there are so many things to look out for, including these scams that we're addressing. So what are some of the most common moving scams, Tom?
Oh, that's a great question, Cyrus. So we frequently get complaints. They come in through a National Consumer Complaint database, which can be found on protectyourmove.gov, which is our website. Usually fall into one of three categories. What's called hostage loads, which is where people will be quoted one price for the delivery of their household goods, and then after their items are picked up, and then in the process of being delivered to the new location, they're informed that there's extra fees, and not reasonable extra fees. What we're talking about really are sometimes several $1,000s to, in some instances, doubling the price while the goods are in transit, and the refusal to deliver items until that additional fee is paid. That's what we call, as I said, hostage loads. Then there's also instances where there's concerns about misrepresentation of an entity, and then also, lost items, damaged items, unreasonable delays in receiving shipments. They all are kind of the most common complaints that we receive through our National Consumer Complaint database.
Yeah. And again, these are things our audience can definitely relate to. So, when it comes to this, we all try to protect ourselves, Tom, but what are the warning signs that we should be on the lookout for when hiring movers?
That's a very valuable thing, and as you indicated, FMCSA primarily has been a safety organization and still is a safety organization. Our efforts in terms of enforcing and helping consumer protection has really picked up over the past year. We had a 50% increase in complaints from 2015 to 2020. 21, and fortunately, because of our efforts, we've been able to knock those down a little bit, and also because of the efforts of our other enforcement partners. But particularly, what we really advise consumers to do is really check the mover's website. If you're in the process of looking to move, you need a contract with a mover, do your research, look on their website. Do they have their registration information with FMCSA? If they're an interstate mover, they're required to be registered with us. If they're an interstate broker, validating, are they a household goods broker, meaning they will give you an estimate and then sell the load to someone else to pick up, or if they're actually the individual that's going to be, or company that's going to be coming to pick up your items. Don't sign blank documents. Ask for copies of their tariff or fee sheet. The degree to which you can make sure you're an informed consumer going into the interaction always puts you in a better position. And most importantly, we encourage everyone to go to our website, protectyourmove.gov. There are a ton of resources on that webpage, booklets on knowing your rights, checklists on how to prepare for a move, how to select a mover. Really encourage everyone to make sure they go on there, even tools to search our registered movers database to make sure that the individual taking your goods is registered and authorized to do so.
We're going to make sure that we link that website up, but protectyourmove.gov for our audience as well, for our Facebook audience, for the radio side, and also for the podcast. I do want to ask you, though, we try to do all the right things. What should we do, though, if we do suspect that we have been a victim of a household moving fraud?
So we definitely would encourage individuals, unfortunately, that find themselves in that circumstance, to file a complaint through our National Consumer Complaint Database, which can be found on protectyourmove.gov. They can go on to that website, file a complaint, make sure that we're aware of it. We can't represent, or we don't represent individual consumers because we're a federal government agency, but we can make sure that we document the information. And then we do have targeted enforcement efforts. We did one last spring this time. We're in the midst of doing one right now, Operation Protect Your Move. We've done over 100 targeted investigations of carriers and brokers that are engaged in these deceptive practices. Secondly, contact your local consumer protection agency. That could be through your Attorney General's office or through some other consumer affairs office within your state to see what they can do immediately, or at least close to, in terms of any type of activities or efforts that they could put in place. Lastly, again, on the Protect Your Move website, we have a document that walks through what to do if you're experiencing these challenges, your rights if it's an interstate move, in terms of what you can do to file claims, arbitration, same kind of questions you want to ask, even if you're moving within state, than moving just within Georgia, for example. Absolutely contact your local consumer affairs division and find out what your rights are for within those state boundaries.
Great information, Tom. Again, everyone, Tom Liberatore has been our guest, the Director of the Office of Enforcement and Compliance with the U.S. Department of Transportation's Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, or FMCSA. Again, that website is protectyourmove.gov. Tom, thank you all so much for the great work you're doing. Thank you for spending some time with us today, and looking forward to speaking with you again.
Great. Thank you very much, Cyrus. Appreciate it.
You're more than welcome, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live, again, part of our Music and News segment here at WYAD. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let us go make today amazing. Take care.